Hi, I'm Heather.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and we're realtors in the North Georgia area.
If you've thought about purchasing a home or selling your home in the North Georgia area, be sure to check out our website at www.livinginnorthgeorgia.com, as well as our YouTube channel called Living in North Georgia with Heather and Stephanie.
Good morning.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Stephanie, and we're realtors in the North Georgia area.
Have you ever wanted to sell your home but have no idea where to start? Don't worry, we're here to help. As two former educators with a combined teaching career of 40 years, we are experts in guiding and educating the community. We will walk you through the process of selling a home with all the techniques and strategies that we implemented when teaching students.
We will present the information in an organized, stress-free format that will cover all the necessary steps to sell a home. Here's a brief overview of the 10-step process that you will follow, and we will cover these in a series of 3 simplified videos. Video 1, we covered steps 1 through 3. For step 1, it was choose an agent and create a price. Step 2, get your home ready. Step 3, market your home. In video 2, we covered steps 4 through 6. Step 4 was show your home. Step 5 was to receive an offer. And step 6, negotiate price.
And in this video, we're going to cover the remaining steps 7 through 10. Step 7 is the home inspection that will be scheduled by the buyer. Step 8 would be the negotiating repair stage. Step 9 is the official appraisal, and step 10 is the closing day. So step 7 is the home inspection, and most buyers will want a home inspection completed during the due diligence period. The due diligence period is a stated amount of time in the contract that allows the buyer to pull out of the contract without penalty. And it's recommended that you, as the homeowner, are not present during the home inspection. Typical home inspections can last a few hours, but it could take longer if additional inspections are included, such as septic, pool, stucco, etc. And typically, the larger the home, the longer the inspection will take as well. The inspector will inspect the HVAC, roof, electrical system, plumbing systems, turn on all appliances, flush toilets, check for pests in the attic, check for mold, and look for wood rot and structural issues, say with porches and or decks. It is imperative that you disclose any issues in the seller's disclosure, as the inspector will most likely identify these issues. It's better to be upfront than to try to hide something and hope that it's not found, especially during the inspection stage. Step 8 is negotiating possible repairs. So after the inspection is done, the buyers will decide if they want to negotiate any repairs found during the inspection. If the buyer wants repairs completed and the due diligence period has not ended, the buyer will submit an amendment to address concerns with property. Your agent can help you understand the buyer's concerns and can recommend contractors who can complete the necessary repairs. You can also submit a counteroffer that includes repairing some of the issues but not all, or you might decline repairs but you give a price reduction instead. If repairs are agreed upon, these will need to be completed before the closing date. Remember, if this is taking place during the due diligence period and you refuse repairs or to give a price reduction, the buyer can terminate the contract and all earnest money would be returned to the buyer. So it's really important to discuss the possible counteroffer with your agent to come up with a solution that would make sense for both you as well as the buyer. Step 9 is the appraisal. So once negotiations concerning repairs have been completed, the buyer's lender will order an appraisal to ensure the purchase price is not above the value of the home. If the contract includes an appraisal contingency, the appraisal must be more than the purchase price. If the appraisal comes in lower, you can either reduce the purchase price to the appraisal value, or the buyer can terminate the contract without penalty if the contract has an appraisal contingency in it. In some cases, you can lower the purchase price to where it might still fall above the appraisal value, but the buyer would be willing to bring additional funds to the closing in order to meet the appraisal gap. Again, though, the buyer can refuse to bring the additional funds to closing and terminate the contract without penalty if the appraisal does not justify the purchase price. This is where having an experienced agent working with you is really crucial. Please keep in mind that only a licensed appraiser who is a neutral party to the buyer, seller, and lender is qualified to conduct the appraisal. It's very important to also remember that some types of loans, such as FHA and VA, there is no time limit on when the appraisal must be done, and the buyer can terminate the contract past the due diligence period without penalty if the appraisal is lower than the purchase price when they are obtaining an FHA or a VA loan, because those require an appraisal to be funded. Other types of loans or financing must be terminated within the due diligence, even if the appraisal value does not meet the purchase price, if there is not an appraisal contingency within the contract. That's why in a previous video, we talked about how a conventional loan offer might be more attractive than an FHA or VA loan because of the appraisal contingency component.
And finally, step 10, which is the closing. This will usually take place at an attorney's office. Usually the buyer will complete a final walkthrough earlier in the day of closing. This allows the buyer to ensure the home is in the expected condition per the terms of the contract and that all repairs have been made. You, your agent, the buyer, the buyer's agent, the attorney, and a representative from the lender will be present. The settlement statement, loan documents, title documents, and any other legal documents will be signed by all parties under supervision of the attorney. Once the signings are done, the lender will release the funds to the closing attorney and the closing is complete. If you are receiving funds, the attorney will either give you a check or have the money wired to your preferred bank account.
And because we're teachers, you know you're not going to escape without another quiz over steps 7 through 10. So directions are simple. Stephanie is going to read a statement and you just need to decide if it is true or false.
Okay, Heather. Question number 1. It's recommended that the seller is present during inspections.
That is false. This is the inspection that the buyer orders and pays for, and so it is not recommended that the seller be at home during the inspection. It is recommended that the buyer attend the inspection during it taking place.
Okay, question number 2. Proud of you. If the appraisal comes in below purchase price and there's not an appraisal contingency in the contract, the buyer can terminate the contract without consequence. Think about it, true or false?
That would be false, because if there is not an appraisal contingency within the contract and the appraisal value comes in lower than the purchase price that's in the contract, the buyer cannot walk away unless it is during the due diligence period. If it's during the due diligence period, the buyer can walk away for any reason at all without consequence.
Good job. All right, final question. If issues arise during inspection, the seller must make repairs.
That would be false. The seller does not have to make repairs. However, this is where it's really important to communicate with your agent, because in order to make the deal close, you might have to concede and offer to make some repairs or even give a price reduction. So again, communication with your agent is key.
Excellent job, 100. We hope you've enjoyed these videos and we hope they've been informational.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for our 3 video series of selling your home. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our email address and our website is listed down in the description. Until next time, see you guys later.